Hey team, how's it going this week? I hear you're going to be getting back to the pool soon. So we're going to be working a little bit on movement, but a lot on breath to support you transitioning back to getting in the water, which is, I guess, super exciting for you, right? I bet you've missed it. So let's begin today in a seated position. So remember, you can sit cross-legged, you could sit on your knees, however feels comfortable. You could sit on something, a cushion if you wanted to as well. Rest your hands somewhere. And then close down the eyes. Check that your spine is nice and long, so just feel into the body and maybe press into the bones that you sit on and lift yourself up. Almost as if you've got two balloons just gently tied to your ears and they're just drawing you up, and your chin is slightly tucked towards the chest. Back of the neck nice and long. Sides of the neck relaxed. So you might hear I've begun to make my breath quite audible so you can hear it. Can you breathe in through your nose, out through your nose, and feel whole of the chest and all of the belly influenced by your breath, so some movement there. I'm going to do a little flow to get into the body, and then I'm going to teach you a three-part breathing technique. And it's called three-part or Viloma or waterfall breath. So we'll be focusing on that today, preparing your lungs for the return to the pool. Okay, so opening your eyes if they're not already, and just see how you feel. Let's just check in today, whatever's going on, whatever you've got planned for the rest of the afternoon, the evening, the week, however your day's been so far. Let's focus on how we feel now and use this time to be really in our bodies and working on a sort of calm. So there's a saying: don't let people pull you into their storm. You pull them into your peace. And just see, from sitting and from breathing, do you feel a little more sort of landed in your body? Are you a bit more aware of how you feel rather than everything that's going on outside the rest of the day, whatever that is? So use this time for you, right? Okay. So from however you are, let's roll onto hands and knees. Okay. Now you know this one. This is working through the spine and the shoulders. And we make a sort of wave-like motion through the body. You exhale and round back. And then you inhale forward. So think of sort of rippling through the spine. Exhale all of the breath out. Pull the lower belly up. And then forearms come down, and you inhale and you draw forward. Exhaling. And inhaling. A few more like that. So keep going with the ripples through the spine. And Do it to your own breath. Great. Okay, and then something familiar to you, a little bit of sun salutation. Okay, so from here, tabletop, tuck your toes, lift the knees, and then send your hips up. Here, let's have a stretch through the legs. So lift one leg up and sort of move through the ankle. Do whatever feels good with that leg there. So can you be sort of balanced and stretch? Some of you might even draw yourself into plank and test the core here. You know all these things. You can move the leg around, see how it feels. And then doing the same with the other leg. I say the same, you might feel like doing some different things with that leg once you get it up there. Sides of the body are quite different. So have a little move round, maybe plank. Moving through the ankle, the toes, and then dropping the toes down. And you're in your downward facing dog. From here, knees come down, keep the toes squatting. Sit back, toe squatting child's. Then from here, drawing the chest forward, chest comes down and push and draw yourself up for your cobra. Ooh, a few breaths there. And then use your lower belly as the hips rise up, and you can maybe roll over your feet, downward facing dog, and then lift your left leg up, draw the knee into the chest, land the foot, help it. So the knee is stacked on top of the ankle, you know this one. So right arm, spiral it up, inhale, exhale down. Right arm, inhale, twist. Let's stay here. Keep pushing into that left heel so the glutes are engaged. Maybe your hand comes down here because we're going to do a little bit of swirling through the shoulder. Nothing's right or wrong. Move in a way that feels good for you. And follow with your breath. So maybe inhaling, reaching forward, exhaling back. You can get a little artistic with it. Inhale and exhale, explore the shoulder. And keeping a strong lunge, right? Moving through the rest. Maybe it feels a little bit swimming-esque as you move. Okay, then from there, legs might be getting a little tired. Both arms coming up, we're coming into crouching tiger. Inhale up, and then exhale forward. Good. Land both hands, yeah? And then take that right leg back to meet the left, and then push the hips up. Good. Knees come down, toe squatting child's, exhale, sit back. And then use your inhale and exhale to draw forward, cobra. And shifting the shoulders here. Remember, if that feels a little uncomfy in your lower back, you come down to Sphinx, okay? All right. From here, lifting the hips, roll over the toes. And then it's going to be the right leg going up. Knee in towards the chest. Plant the foot. Good. Lunge. Left arm, inhale. Exhale. Right arm, inhale. And then you're going to stay there, yeah? So you're in your twisted lunge. Your hand might come down now, but I want you to keep using the strength of your legs to keep you in the lunge rather than put too much weight into your left hand, okay? And then from here, explore some movements in that shoulder. work with the breath. So good. Nice, everybody. And when you're ready to, balancing warrior, both hands, inhale up. Yes, exhale, crouching tiger. And then slowly bringing that left leg back to the right, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, roll over the toes, knees come down. Exhale, sit back. And then from here, inhaling and exhaling, cobra pose. Good. Nice, everybody. And then begin to lift your hips. Remember to use your core. Bring yourself up. And we're in tabletop position now. Press into the right hand. Lift the left arm. Inhale. And then exhale. Weave it underneath the right. Drop the head down and rest there for threading the needle pose. Slowly draw that arm back. Inhale, sweep it up. Nice rotation in the ribs. Good. Exhale underneath. Inhale up. Good. And exhale down. Heart melting pose. Keep your hips above your knees. Lots of shoulder work today, right? And then drop your forearms, drop your chest down. Maybe your forehead comes onto the mat, the floor. I'm getting you to really stimulate what they call in Chinese medicine approach, the lung point, which is here. So the front of the chest. And then walking your hands back. Maybe you just need to roll through the shoulders a little. Okay. And then from here, threading the needle, but a bit of a flow, right? So press into the left hand gently. And then inhale the right arm up. And then exhale. Hook it underneath. Let it land down. Side of the head lands. Then use another inhale to draw that up, reach it up. Exhale underneath, and we're going to do that again. Inhale, come up. Exhale underneath. Then slowly bring yourself back, tabletop position. And this time you're going to circle through your hips and feel that come all the way through the upper body to the shoulders, and you'll sort of just move in a sort of slinky, explorative way. You can engage as well in your abdominals as you draw back and send yourself forward. So this is not sort of like switching off here. You feel and engage and let your movements be strong from the core. Okay. Then from here, walk your hands back to your knees. And begin to sit back on onto your bottom. Good. From here, coming into butterfly legs, so soles of the feet together. Hold on to your feet. And then you're going to inhale and lift the chest up. And then exhale, round through the spine, drop the head. Inhale, come up. And then exhale. So rippling through the spine this way. I'm just getting a bit of work in the shoulders and obviously the hips in your butterfly. Good. Okay. From here, can you set the left leg so it's just in front of you, knees going out to the side? And how is it if you put your right side of the foot on top of the left? And if you look down at your legs, then you kind of think, okay, my shins are parallel to my pelvis. So yeah, so it's not quite cross-legged, it's a little bit different. See how that feels. Some of your knees will be right up and some of your knees will be a bit lower than mine. This knee is a little bit funny. I injured it at some point, okay? So we might feel something going on in our hips. Check in here, see everything's okay. This is like pose of the spider, really good in the shoulders, the breath work and the hips here. So I want you to take the left arm forward as if you're serving something. And then the right goes on top and your arms are out to the side, yeah. Good. Okay, so press that right elbow a little into the left and pick the left up and you should feel the shoulders engage, yeah? So here I'm going to inhale, fill up the belly, the torso, and as I exhale, lift the ribs away from the pelvis, get a bit taller. Nice, everybody. What happens if you begin to lean a little forward? It might feel a little different in the hips. Good. Drop the head a little, few breaths there. And then if you are okay to bend forward, some of you might have sat up already, gently bring yourselves up. Nice. Unravel those arms and reach them out to the sides. Left arm is going down to the floor and right arm's reaching over. Good, loads of space inside of the body. And can you turn your gaze down to the floor? And then draw that right arm forward. Hand lands down, left hand lands down, and then peel yourself up. Well done, everybody. Unhooking, guiding that right leg off the top of the left. Land it forward. Walk your hands to the inside of the right leg and send the left leg back. You're in a lunge pose. Bit of stretch in the hips, particularly the front one of that left leg, right? Good. And just see what it feels like to do all of these longer held stretches and how it feels in your breath. So can you really focus when you become a bit still on the quality of your breath? So how much can you draw into the body? How much can you release? Yeah, in a not forceful way. Okay. And slowly bring yourself back, and the leg comes back. Good. And then we're going to sit down. Those bones we sit on again, and this time it's your right leg coming out in front, and then you take the left leg and you see if you can rest it on top. And then you look down and check that your shins and your pelvis, your hips, are parallel. That's it. A little negotiation there. Okay. Let's just get used to this first of all. And then it's going to be your right arm forward like you're serving something, your left arm. They go out to the side, so a bit like we're spider-esque here. All of our limbs sort of coming out from the center of the body. And do you remember that? Inhaling, and then as you exhale, lift the ribs away from the pelvis, so a bit like a telescope, yeah? Loads of space in the abdomen, so the belly pressing up and down for a little feedback at the back of the shoulders. And then maybe you come forward, see how that feels in the legs and the knees. Drop the head wherever you are, even if you stay up, if you feel anything a bit iffy in knees or in back or wherever in the hips. Some of you will bow forward. And then when you're ready, come back up. Releasing your arms, right arm down to the floor, left arm overhead. Good. Gaze down at the floor. And then slowly coming round. Walk your hands on the floor. Super good, everybody. Peeling yourself up. Unhook the left leg, plant the foot down to begin to creep your way into a lunge. Good. So right leg coming back, left leg forward. And then slowly, slowly pressing back. Take the left leg back to join the right. Okay. So we're going to come to waterfall breath technique. So it's a really good way of working on increments of breath. So taking in parts of breath and releasing, and we'll do it the other way around as well. So I want you to sit however feels comfortable. We're going to do a gentle arch to the side. I'm going to sit cross-legged. You could sit on your knees if you wanted to. Okay, so just take yourself over to the right side. Okay. And just have a little stretch there. So obviously you can feel the left side become longer and get more of a stretch in space, right? We're going to bring awareness to different parts of the body, so you need to just sort of look at me while I show you. We're going to bring awareness to the left hip, the left ribs, and then the left shoulder, okay? And how it's going to work is we're going to take in an inhale in 3 parts. So I'm going to say left hip, and you're going to take in a sip of air. Now don't take in all of the breath, because you're going to take it in 3 parts, right? So you inhale, little sip, inhale, top up, ribs, last part of inhale. So that's our full capacity now, full shoulder. And then as you exhale, it's going to be one smooth exhale, waterfall. So you go, and you track your awareness back down. So if you've been leant over, just come back and just shift through the body. Okay, so it's 3 parts. So you inhale 1/3, 2/3, full breath, so 3/3, full top up, and then the exhale is in one smooth release of breath. That's the waterfall. Okay, so when you're ready to, let's lean over. This is too much in the shoulder, just take your arm behind. That might be nicer. Might be nicer for most of us to go there. Okay, let's all exhale all of the breath out. Inhale part of the breath, hip, awareness goes to ribs, inhale 2/3, good, and then awareness to the shoulder, inhale, top up, final top up, 3/3, hold the breath, then smooth waterfall, exhale, shoulder, ribs, hip, good, inhale, part of the breath, hip, inhale, top up ribs. Inhale, final top up, 3/3 shoulder. Hold the breath. Smooth exhale. Water falling down the body. Good. Okay, and again, inhale. Hip. Inhale. Ribs. Inhale, shoulder. Smooth exhale. Good, 2 more like that. Inhale, part of the breath, first part, hips. Inhale, ribs. Inhale, shoulder. Smooth exhale. Water falling down the body. Can you do that again? Inhale. Hips. Inhale. Ribs. Inhale, shoulder. And then good, everybody. Slowly begin to take yourself forward. Reach forward, stretching out. And then coming back. We're going to do the other side. Yeah, so just see how you feel after that. That's a great one you can do. We can also work next week on reversing it. It's a different feeling. This one's a bit more awakening, and when you work it the opposite way, it can be a little bit more relaxing. So I'll teach you that next week, okay? So let's focus on this journey for now with the breath. So take yourself over now to the left side. Maybe have a little stretch here. We know what we're doing now. Some of you might stay there. That might feel okay, but just check your neck as well. No tension in the neck. I'm obviously looking at you, but you probably can look down to the floor to release the side of the neck, okay? So maybe here. Okay. So when you're ready, exhale all of the breath out. Inhale the first part of the breath, right hip. Inhale, right ribs. Inhale, shoulder. All of the breath topped up, and then ready, slow waterfall. Shoulder, ribs, hip. Good. Inhale, hip. Inhale, ribs. Inhale, shoulder. And then some more like that. Inhale. Inhale the ribs. Inhale the shoulder. And then can you do it yourself now? You know what you're doing. Work a few more. Okay, how is that? Well done, everyone. Maybe finish the round that you're on. And then releasing the arm from wherever you have it. Slowly draw yourself forward. You might feel that in your neck, right? If you've let your head go super heavy, a nice stretch in the neck. Take your hands forward, rock a little in the hips. And then clasping your hands, inhale up in front of the chest, and then exhale, round forward. Inhale up, everybody. And we just come back to this one, which is a great way to bring that life, that energy, so they call it chi, into the lungs. Thumbs up to the ceiling. Turn the thumbs down to the floor, soften the elbows a little, take the hands behind, clasp them, shoulder blades round the spine, and then here, last little bit of shoulder work, lean forward. That's it. All right, coming back up. We're going to lay down for our Shavasana. So final pose. If you feel it from being sat cross-legged or however you are sat, have a little stretch in the legs. Yeah, lots of people like to windshield wiper as well, a little reset for the back. So that's just taking the legs from one side to the other. Anytime you need to do that can be a helpful one for you if you just feel like, oh, okay, I feel a little niggle. It might just help settle anything in the body, okay? And then from here, laying down however you like to lay. Maybe you grab a pillow for your head, a blanket. Maybe your legs go out long. You might stretch them out. If you feel you need a bit more energy, depending on what you're doing next, still always take your final relaxation, but you may be more of a starfish than the body close together, okay? So decide where you want to be. Close down the eyes. A lot of breath work we've just done, a lot of work around the shoulders and creating space for the lungs, the torso. So now you really just let the breath settle and enjoy all of that space you've created. And nothing for you to do for a few minutes. So what is it like to have the eyes really relaxed? body really relaxed. The mind really relaxed. Nothing for you to do. You stay as you are. Just relaxing. And then everybody slowly find your way to feeling your breath again. So you invite a bit more breath in to enliven the body. Begin to work your stretches from your laying pose. So whatever stretches feel good. And then roll onto one side or the other and bring yourself slowly up to a seated position. Let's see if we feel a bit taller, how the lungs feel. Do you feel a little sort of cleansed, purified? Yeah, with all that breath work, we tend to feel a bit sort of maybe clearer or lighter in the mind, which is super cool, right? So see how you feel, or maybe you don't feel that way, and that's okay as well, but you just check in with how you are. And then you can bring your hands together. Let's exhale all of the breath out. Everybody taking an inhale and exhale. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. We'll work the 3-part breath technique the other way next week. And yeah, let me know how you got on, or let your teachers, your coaches know how you got on with that. Have a great week.